Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to our moral science class. Today we are going to do the first lesson of moral science, that is the essence of faith. In this chapter we are going to study about faith, how we must have faith in others, trust others. Now there is a very famous saying by Mahatma Gandhi. A living faith will last in the midst of the blackest storm. Another well-known saying by Rabindranath Tagore, faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Now, we are going to recite a very beautiful poem. Faith is flowing like a river, flowing out through you and me, spreading out into the deserts, setting all captives free. Let it flow through me. Let it flow through them. Let the mighty love of God flow out through us.
Faith begets faith just as love begets love. Story number 1. Once Alexander the Great fell very sick while on his way to invade Persia. His condition worsened within a short span of time. However, none of his physicians were prepared to take a chance with his medication. They were afraid that they might be charged with the conspiracy to kill the emperor if they failed in the cure. However, Alexander's most faithful attendant Philip, on seeing how critical his case was, resolved to try a treatment and confidently gave some medicines to him. At this very time, one of Alexander's secret agents informed him that the king of Persia had bribed Philip to kill him. But so implicit was Alexander's faith in Philip that even this news could not shake his confidence in Philip. Thereafter, soon, with the help of Philip's efforts, Alexander's health and strength returned. This is a true example of healing by faith. Students, there are two questions. First, why did Alexander trust Philip in spite the news he received from his secret agent? And the second question is, what lesson do we learn from the story? Now you all are supposed to do these two questions by yourself. Now story number 2. My father is taking me home. Once a man was traveling in an airplane. Next to his seat was a little girl sitting busy with her coloring book. He found it strange that such a young girl would be traveling alone. About an hour into the flight, the plane suddenly began experiencing extreme turbulence. The pilot asked everyone to fasten the seat belts and remain calm as they had encountered rough weather. Several times over the next half hour, the plane made drastic dips and turns, shaking all the while. Some people began crying and many were praying intently. The man, sweating and clenching his seat as tightly as he could, exclaimed, "Oh my God, please help." Meanwhile, the little girl didn't seem worried at all and sat calmly. After some time, the turbulence ended. The pilot apologized to the passengers for the bumpy ride and announced that they would be landing soon. As the plane began to descend, the man said to the little girl, "You are just a little girl, but I have never met a brave person like you in my entire life. Tell me, my dear, how is it that you remain so calm while all of us were so afraid?" Looking him in the eyes, she said, "My father is the pilot of the plane and he is taking me home." My dear children, there are deep lessons in the story. The little girl represents our personalities. The journey represents our life. The man represents the inner commentator. The pilot, that is the girl's father, is the Supreme Lord guiding us back home. Yes, my dear children, the Lord God, our Father, He never leaves His children alone. In any situation, whether good or bad, in any time, troubles, any time. Now let us have the case study, faith in God. Does it mean we do not have to do anything if we have faith in God? Now let us read the 3 case studies. Case 1. Exams are round the corner and a student sits down and prays without studying properly. Can he do well? The case number 2. One day a Bedouin was resting with an untied camel next to him. The Prophet noticed it and asked him, "Why don't you tie down your camel?" Bedouin answered, "I place my trust in Allah." At that time the Prophet said, "Tie your camel and then place your trust in Allah." Do you agree with the advice that we should always do our best and then leave the rest to God? Yes, my dear children. We must do our best. It is not that we must just sit and say, "Oh, God will see everything." No. God only helps those who helps themselves. Now case number 3. Kevin had been taught from a very young age that God is the protector of all beings and that He would certainly help if anyone prayed sincerely. Kevin lived with his mother. They were very poor and led a hand-to-mouth existence. One day his mother fell ill. The little money that they had was all spent on medicines and there was no money for food. He wrote a postcard to God. "Dear God, you are the provider for all of us. Please send us some food. Your hungry son, Kevin." To God, wrote to heaven. Now he walked to the post office at the corner of the street. As he was trying to reach to it, a man saw the address on the letter and his heart was filled with compassion for this tender soul. He said, "Son, I am a servant of the Lord. I will give this letter to him myself. But please use this money for food." The man gave Kevin enough money for his immediate needs. He also gave Kevin his card and told him that he can ask his mother to meet him so that he can get a job for her. Do you think God answers our prayer? Yes, my dear children. If we pray sincerely, God does answer our prayer. Now there are questions, 2 questions, and some tick the right thing. Now you need to do all this by yourself.
Now there is another beautiful poem in this lesson. Now let us recite this second beautiful poem. I wonder why the grass is green and why the wind is never seen. Who taught the fish to take a dive and the honeybees to build a hive? Oh, when the stars twinkle in the sky, the dark clouds float and pass by. Who gave the moon its light, I know. The thunder and lightning came in a row. The rainbow is always so colorful and bright. There's somebody who paints them with all its might. Now children, with this we have completed our first chapter of moral science. Now I am giving you one activity, that is on the first page and on this page number 6 there are 2 poems in this chapter. Now any one poem you need to write and draw also. You need to make a poster of this poem. It need not to make a big size poster, just A4 size also sheet you can take, or you can take a sheet from your drawing books and make the poster. This activity you need to keep it ready by 10th of July. Anytime we will ask you to send it to us.